It's season of colors, and I hope your application gets as colorful with all the learnings that you are gathering for yourselves through not just my videos but ample of content that's available around. Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Nikita, and I bring useful tips and tricks that can help you take a step closer to the industry. In today's video, I will be talking about the most frequently asked question on my channel: how technically competent you need to be to apply for a technical role at Google. Now, you could be applying for a technical program manager position, you could be applying for a SWE position. I have answers for both the positions through this video. So, stay tuned till the end of this video to make the most out of the content today. And before that, if you're new to this channel or you've been just lazy clicking on that subscription button below, please click on the subscription button below. That definitely motivates me to bring more such useful tips and tricks for you in the upcoming videos. By the way, thank you so much for all the love that you have given on my previous videos, the comments, the shares that you all have done. That definitely fulfills my heart and has made me empowered enough to bring more content for you in the upcoming weeks. All right, so let's deep dive into the topic today on how technically competent you need to be to apply for a technical position at Google. If you are someone who comes from a technical background because your education was as a IT or a computer science professional, or if you are someone who's worked in the software industry, you built softwares in the past as a developer or as a tester, then you have great potential to apply for a company like Google. Now, if you're considering to apply for a company like Google for a TPM position, then remember you need not write code for applying for a TPM position during your interviews, but you're expected to understand the nuances of coding, and you might be expected to explain those during your interviews. So, during your TPM interviews, there might be a round or two around system designs where they will be testing your aptitude around building systems at scale. So you might be expected to design systems from an end-to-end perspective. And if you want more insights on what exactly gets covered in system design interviews, then I have done some videos in the past that you might find useful. You can go watch those videos after this video. But beyond just system designs, they might also question you around your decision making, technical decision making to be specific. And examples could include: when do you build software as in-house versus when do you outsource them? When do you look into partitioning the data to ensure there is high latency or low throughput, or vice versa? So every application may have different scenarios to consider, and they may question you around these areas. They may also ask you to explain certain specific technologies to a non-technical audience. So be prepared to answer those during your interviews. There are more such questions, and I would be happy to share a question bank if that's what you're looking for. Drop a comment in the comment section below, and in the next video, I will be sharing a PDF covering all the commonly asked technical questions expected for a TPM position. Now, secondly, if you are aspiring to join as a software developer in Google, then as you know, there would be a couple of rounds before you are actually sitting for an interview at Google. The first thing is your resume screening. Now, this is where most of the candidates don't get through and are left puzzled or curious why their applications don't get shortlisted. If you are one of those, then I have done a video in the past talking about this. Also, go watch that video after this video. The second thing after your resume gets shortlisted is your phone screening round. Now, during this round, they might be trying to get to know more about you, the challenges that you've worked in the past, and they may also ask you about the problems that you have worked in the past that makes you suitable fit for the role. Now, if you have more questions around what goes in the phone screening round and what you need to prepare for this particular round, then take a pause and drop a comment again about this in the comment section below, and I will be happy to come up with a detailed video talking about what goes in the phone screening round and what you need to be prepared if you are invited for a phone screening round with your recruiter. After this round, the recruiter may decide to pass you on to the next round, or they may pause or hold on your application there and then itself. So that round is pretty important, and please take every round at Google very seriously, because through every round they are trying to assess different qualities about you and make sure that you're prepared for those during your interviews. Now, once your phone screening is cleared and you are passed through the next round is testing your data structures and algorithms knowledge. And during this round, they may question you around trees, arrays, strings, and lot of DSA concepts. But that's not it. Also, what they want to know is how do you calculate the space complexity, the time complexity for the DSA algorithms that you might be solving during your interview. Now, this is a round where you are given an editor like Google Docs or something where there is no autocomplete. So, you are expected to write the code end to end, and your screen is shared with your interviewer at all times. So, make sure that you confidently answer these questions, you don't show your nervousness, and you also speak through your thought process while you are actually solving those DSA questions during your interview. Now, after this round, you might be invited for an on-site interview, or it could be online as well, based on the geography and the role you're applying for and where your hiring manager and hiring team sits. But if you're invited for an on-site interview or a virtual interview as well, what they would be next assessing is your coding skills. Ensure you've solved as many lead code medium sized problems on HackerRank as well. Those are also good problems to look at and give you exposure about how do you problem solve using coding. During this interview, again, the tip remains the same, that walk through your thought process. Your interviewer doesn't care about the outcome that you're reaching to, but they really care about the thought process that you're bringing while solving these problems. So make sure that you are explaining your thought process, you're collaborating with your interviewer to reach the end result of the problem that you are trying to solve for. Now, these rounds typically last for 45 minutes to 60 minutes, out of which the first 5 minutes are for introductions and last 5 minutes roughly are for Q&A. The magical time of the interview is roughly around 45 to 50 minutes, and I hope you make the best out of those few minutes that you have to first clarify on the problems that you would be offered during your interviews, make the right assumptions, and then jump into providing solutions to your interviewer. All right. And if you are someone who is applying for a little bit of experience roles, specifically if you're applying for L5 plus level roles at Google, then they might be also assessing your system design knowledge during the interview. Some examples include, like, can you design Google Docs end-to-end perspective, or can you design how Uber works and how LLMs work for a Uber like application? Now, these are very open-ended questions, and you need to spend time with your interviewer to clarify the assumptions, the requirements that they are looking for, what exactly they are trying to assess out of the skill sets you have during your interview. I hope you're finding this content useful, and then this is just the technical round at Google. There are even more rounds where you're assessed on your googliness, your general cognitive ability, which is the CGA round, and then there would be also role related knowledge rounds that you might be appearing for, specifically if you're going for a TPM role. If you want me to come up with detailed videos on what the googliness round looks like, what you need to be aware of if you're preparing for that particular round, once again, do not hesitate to drop a comment in the comment section below. Maybe you can just collate all the questions you have in one single comment and drop a comment in the comment section below. That just gives me an understanding what kind of content you are looking for in the future videos, and I can come up with answers to those in the next videos. So until we meet in the next video, I hope you enjoy this colorful season, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye bye.